everyone, and welcome to the Committed Lifestyle Podcast. I'm your host, Jody, and each week we're going to be diving in deep, covering all things that help you step up your game, master your mindset, and help you commit to creating the life you desire. So if you're ready for that, let's get started. All right. Hey, you guys, we are back for another episode. And first, just want to say thank you all for tuning in with me today. I'm just so grateful for you all. So wherever you are, thank you. Sending my love to you. And I want to start today's episode out with a little story because my story has got some real good notes in it. And it's all about losing focus and giving up. All right, so I was at the gym today, and I was doing some box jumps in between sets, and I, totally missed the box thing, bashed my shin. I got a gnarly little knot on my shin and a bruise and some blood, and hurt like hell. And immediately, this is what triggered in my head is first I looked around and I tried to take notice who saw that. A massive rush of embarrassment went over me. I caught eyes with a dude who was walking past that I'm sure he either felt bad or wanted to laugh, or I'm not really positive. But that's first thing. That was it. I was just so focused on, oh my gosh, that was so embarrassing. Who just saw that? I look like a failure. I should probably quit. That was the next thing that was going through my head is like, I'm going to quit. I clearly am not capable of doing these box jumps. Maybe my legs are too fatigued already. What could I do instead? I probably shouldn't have been doing that. And I went through all these self-limiting beliefs of reasons talking me out of doing these box jumps. But that was the plan that I'd set for myself, and I knew I could do them. And then I just paused for a moment, and I went to, okay, if I had a trainer here, would they let me quit? Maybe some of them would, but not all of them. The ones who are determined to help me see my success and to help me achieve my goals, they wouldn't let me quit. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to be my old personal trainer self right now. And I'm going to tell myself that I can't quit because it's not that I'm not capable of it. I've done box jumps before. It's that I lost focus. And I was like, okay, you know what? You did lose focus. You were looking around at some other things. You weren't thinking about doing those box jumps when you hit your shin. Your brain was elsewhere. I remember I was thinking about something completely different while I was jumping. And it's because of that loss of focus that I created that, I don't know, failure, that I missed the box. And I took notice. I was like, oh my gosh, duh, this applies to any goal for anyone or anything somebody's working towards, that if they lose focus on the thing that they're working on, they're going to mess up. They're going to fall on their ass. They're going to feel like a failure. They're going to question themselves. They're going to be embarrassed. And I took that and I was like, you know what? We're going to turn this into a podcast episode. And I'm totally finishing out these freaking box jumps. Regardless if I hit again, I will not quit. I went into this like total Nazi kind of, wow. Yeah. If you guys don't know me, my mother back in the day called me a Nazi trainer. So yes, I am very gung-ho, go hard when I am in the gym. But I think that's where I've learned all my mindset coaching and mindset teaching is from being in the gym. And that's been the place where I've created the most success for myself and been able to take those mindset tools that I learned from coaches and taught myself and apply them to other areas in life. So I finished out the sets, and it just reminded me of this one theory that I have that I'm going to teach you guys here in a little bit. But you know how I felt? I was freaking proud of myself. Like it hurt. I did a couple other things that it um scared me. Every time I did box jumps, I was scared, but I was like, I'm keeping my brain way dialed in focus. Like, do not jump until you're thinking about jumping, until you're thinking about landing, until you're thinking about picking your feet up high enough. And I was happy as hell that I finished it. And I had a great workout, and it was very motivating and empowering. And oh, yeah, like that was way better than the opposite route that I could have taken, because the opposite route could have looked like this. Could have hit my shin, could have looked around, been really embarrassed and in pain, questioning myself, going through that whole cycle of thoughts again, and grab my stuff, move to a different location in the gym, or just said, F it, go over and do like some cardio and abs and call it a day, and walk out of there feeling unaccomplished, unsatisfied with my workout, mad at myself for not finishing it. Why don't I just go and do more? Like, who really cares? Kind of bummed at myself for the rest of the day, probably not very motivated, and a whole list of other things. I mean, I would have been like kicking myself in the butt for not doing it. So that is option number 2 I could have went through. And that's what a lot of us do, is we go with option number 2. We go with the failure route because we're so worried about what other people think. We care too much about embarrassment. And all it really was losing focus. And when you lose focus and you give up, how good does that make you feel? It's an awful feeling. You lose self-confidence, your self-worth of how you view yourself goes down. And then you just start to apply that same mindset to other areas of your life. If you have other goals, you're like, yeah, I think I can do this. I don't know. I failed enough so many times. I probably won't be able to get this. Or if you've got another New Year's resolution, right? How many times has a New Year's resolution been, I'm going to get in the best shape of my life. This year is going to be different. I'm going to make more money this year. This year is going to be different. I'm going to do XYZ. This year is going to be different. And it's the same goal that you had the year before. And it could be the same goal that you had like 6 months ago, when right before summer started, but you quit every time because you lost focus. And, you know, you went through those things of getting confused, being embarrassed, not feeling like you had the right tools, just letting life get in the way. There's a whole list of things when it comes to New Year's resolutions, but what we're really focusing on today is focus and giving up and remembering why you started. And that leads me to something that I started teaching myself. And this goes back, I'll tell you guys how I learned this. It's one of the best mindset hacks I will ever be able to give you. And I learned it from drinking alcohol and eating bad food after. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? You have some drinks, but before you go into the night, you're like, nope, I'm not going to be eating that pizza or nachos tonight. I'm going to be good this time. I've been good all week. I'm going to be good, but I'm just going to have some drinks. And then you have some drinks. And then this whole other side starts talking to you, like AKA your belly. And it says, oh man, some nachos right now would be killer. You should probably have some. You've been drinking, you need something to soak it up. And that just sounds amazing right now. So then you order the nachos or you order the pizza and you have some questioning about it. You're like, I know I shouldn't do this, but it'll be fun. Let's do it. And here they come, and you're like, okay, I'm just going to have a little bit. I'm not going to have all of it. I'm going to have one slice of pizza, or I'm going to have some nachos. Or you're like, no, I'm freaking starving right now. I'm taking down all of this. And you take down enough to where you get full, and you can't walk away from it, right? You're like, shit, it's so good. I've got more room. Oh my God, it's so good. I just want it. I know I shouldn't do it. I shouldn't do it. But I want it so bad. And then you feel like crap And then you wake up the next day and you're full of remorse, regret, like you just really messed up and it's going to take you a whole week to try to fix this. And you're going to go on a cleanse and you're not going to eat and you're going to do extra cardio and all these extra things. And you're just going to be super tight on your eating. Has anyone gone through this before, or is it just me? This is what I used to go through. And I realized that was such a awful cyclical like mindset I was going through. And you want to know how long that lasted of me sticking to this super tight, rigid eating plan? Yeah, like all of half of a day. I'd be so hungover. I'd be like, shit, I need some grease to soak this hangover. I gotta do something. Like I need some greasy food to get rid of this hangover. So then it would start again. I'd eat the greasy food and I'm like, I'll feel better tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll be good. Well, then here rolls around tomorrow and I go do a workout and then I try to go do another one. Maybe I make it, maybe I don't. And I'm like, okay, tomorrow I'm going to do good, but I ate pretty good today. And then the next day shows up and I forget everything that happened that put me through that terrible thought process of this battle I was going through of regret and feeling crappy about myself and holy crap, I'm gonna look like crap and I'm gonna get a gut and blah blah blah, all this stuff. And I realized that wasn't serving me. It was so painful to go through that just constant mental battle. So here's what I did is I said, you know what? Let's talk about how we want to feel after, and let's focus on the after effect. So before I would make any eating decisions, I started to think about how I wanted to feel after. And I knew I wanted to feel really good. I wanted to feel proud of myself. I wanted to feel good in my head and not just good in my body. I was so much more determined to feel good in my head and live in a more kind of like balanced state. So anytime I would go into drinking, I would game plan with myself again. I would get my focus, little goggles on, and I'd say, okay, tonight we are not doing it. We're going to drink. But when those nachos sound good, we're going to remember how we want to feel tomorrow. We don't want to wake up with panic, regret, overwhelm, feeling like we messed up. We want to wake up feeling good. An alcohol hangover, that's fine, I'll take it. But a food and alcohol hangover, no thanks. So I remember the first night that I made it through, I was like, oh shit. I woke up the next day and I was like, oh my God, I did it. And I was like jumping around for joy. It was one of the best feelings ever. It was intoxicating to do something different than I had been doing in the past. And it was all because I stayed focused. I was determined to not give up on achieving the way that I wanted to feel, on achieving this goal. And it was a mini goal, you guys. For me, that was a huge goal. But, you know, looking back, or if you're listening to this, you might be like, that's not even that big of a deal. For me, it was. And so I started doing this meal after meal, day after day, anytime I was drinking. And then it just became easy for me. After that, I realized all I have to do is keep my focus and understand how I want to feel before I get started. So before I get started, how do I want to feel when I finish? When I'm in the middle of it and things get hard and I get tempted and this thing happens, I am going to remind myself how I want to feel after. I'm going to keep my focus on how I want to feel after. And so I just started taking that before, during, after. When I'm in the during, focus on the after. And I applied it to not just myself. I started using this on clients. And it was amazing, the feedback that I got. And I only share that with them. That's kind of one of my biggest secrets to mindset, to reaching goals, is that, you guys. And so I am just jazzed to be sharing it with you because it's going to work. It may not work the first time. It may not work the first 10 times. But I promise you, if you keep focused on that and you keep focused on why you're doing it and keep focused on it while you're doing it, you will reach that goal. All right. That is all I got for today. That is a total secret of mine. You guys just got it. Let me know how that resonates with you because, you got this. You totally got this. Are you feeling fired up right now? I hope so. All right, you guys, that is what I got for you today. I hope that you will take away the lessons that we went over and the tips that I gave you and apply that to your own life. Do me a favor. If you got value out of this episode, take a screenshot of it, tag me in your stories, share with me what's working for you, what you liked, and I would absolutely love you if you guys could rate, review, and share with a friend. It would mean the world to me. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Commit to the life that you want and make it amazing. Until next time, much love to you.